Hello everybody, my name is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. This is the Crystal Palace preview. Today I'm joined by Ben Pearce and Mr. Adam McKola. How are you doing, fellas?
All good, mate. All good.
Hood, no hood. What's happening?
So Manchester United are well, I'm alright, it's alright. I didn't have other stuff to say. Carry on.
Are you pinky and on brain today?
Yeah, that's the one. So Manchester United play Crystal Palace at the weekend, and everything is pointing towards a Crystal Palace upset for me because everyone's taking this far too lightly. Like City put 5 past them, they haven't scored a goal. Roy Hodgson's in charge. They've just struggled to beat Boreham Wood in a behind closed doors friendlies. They're signing Carlton Cole, who's got less Premier League goals than Bobby Charlton. Everything points to these just turning up and beating us 1-0 at the moment, doesn't it? So we're going to get into it. We're going to say, how is this going to happen? The first thing what we're going to talk about today is, does this United side look like it's going to be able to do some bits? Is it feeling good to be a United fan at the moment? Ben, what do you reckon?
Yeah, pretty good. Really good, because you can just see the goals. Do you know what? During the Moyes and Van Gaal era, at some points I was sitting there thinking, watching the games, what are these guys actually doing on the training ground? What are they actually doing to improve the way they play? What are they actually doing when it comes to finishing, when it comes to making goals? Under Mourinho so far this season, I think whatever team he has sent out, they've done a job. And you can sort of see that with this 3-5-2 that we played, we've been working on that. And it's been really good to see that we can change it up week in, week out, and we can win games and we can play very, very well like nothing's happened. And it's really, really fascinating to see the difference between United from this year to last season slightly, but then the seasons before. There's a real good feel-good factor on the pitch, and that's sort of now really grabbing us as fans, I think, and it's exciting because I'm going into each game thinking we're going to win 4-0. I'm not worried about Palace right now. I'm going into every game thinking we can win it 4-0. So that's exciting as a fan. Definitely, yeah, we're the real deal at the moment. We're looking good.
Every game 4-0 is a bit of a stretch, surely.
Nah, stuff it. We can do it. We've got Mourinho as our manager. We've got an amazing team. Lukaku's up front. We've got Mkhitaryan playing the ball in behind. We've got Martial looking like a world beater when he's playing. We've got Rashford looking extremely good as well when he's on the pitch. Defensively, we're strong. Why not?
Adam, do we look like title
I used
contenders?
to think we were going to win every game 4-0
I had a question.
when I was 10.
A question for you. I didn't just want to just come
Are we
straight
title
to it.
contenders? Yeah.
Are we title contenders? Are we the real deal this season?
Love you really, Steve. Are we title contenders? Yes. Are we the real deal? Let's relax for now, yeah? Let's just relax. Even if we win the league, even if we win the league this season, it'll be too early to say we're the real deal. The real deal for me at Manchester United is winning the Champions League. So, because we've won the league before, but I do think this team is the best team we've had in terms of form, ability, potential. I think this is the best team we've had since Fergie.
No, it's better than the last team that won the title.
Left.
Yeah, no, it's better than that title-winning team of Fergie's. I would say this is 2011 level.
Well, Van Persie, he didn't like that season, innit?
This is a better team. I would argue all day long.
All around, I think the defence in that team was better. I think the defence is the only huge question mark in this team. Because you look at the defence and there's a lot of question marks at left back, question marks at centre half alongside Bailly. Valencia's not going to go on forever. So I think it's a weaker defence than that team. I think going forward we're stronger. When you can look at RVP and Lukaku and say, let's say they're par in terms of goals. And then you look at the other players around them. I think what we've got at the minute is absolutely fantastic. And not only that, the players we have. Martial, Mkhitaryan, Rashford. We've got so many players at the moment in that final third that have the ability to get us on the edge of our seats. How often have we been bored this season? Not this season. Over the last couple of years. How often have we just been depressed by the style of football? It's been so poor. And this team is playing phenomenally well, going forward and defensively. Even though I still think I'd rather see a back 4 than a back 5. But this team's doing bits, and it's only going to get better. It has to get better. That's why I'm saying this isn't the real deal yet, because we're not seeing the best of Martial. We're seeing a very good Martial. We're seeing the best we've seen of Martial here, but we're not seeing the best. Same with Rashford, same with Lukaku, same with Mickey, Pogba. This team's only going to get better, so it's not the real deal yet.
What do you say to the opposition fans that ask whether, or that say we aren't the real deal yet because we haven't seen Manchester United facing up against a top 4, top 5 team.
It's just a cliche, though, isn't it? You can only beat what's in front of you. And I think in terms of what Adam was saying then, with the defence, there's question marks over personnel within the defence, yes. But so far, so good in some aspects. You'll say against Stoke there was individual errors, yes. But other than that, we've looked good as a unit. And I think that's the difference. We've looked good as a unit. The partnership between Bay and Jones has worked out quite nicely. Blindy's starting to show his worth out on the left-hand side. And even when Darmian plays, you know what? He looks all right out there. Is aided by what's around him. And I think that whole stability, we've spoken about it before with Matic playing just in front, it just adds something else to the side. It makes us look a bit stronger. It makes us look a whole different defensive unit with him in front of that back line. I agree with Adam, though, 4 instead of 3 or the 5, definitely. But
hang on, why? Why?
Well, I like a 4 at the back.
Why?
I
you can't just say you like it. You have to give me some reasons.
Okay, well, I think with the 3, you're always going to have one that does venture out a little bit more and isn't a defender, so to speak. You're always going to have a ball player in that back 3, who I don't think is going to be as good at defending. So when you've just got the 3 there and you haven't got the aid of the right back and the left back, you're sort of losing a man there, and I don't like that. With the back 4, you've got a compact unit and you've got a compact 4 compact players who can defend and are there and are solid. I don't think within a back 3 you will have that. I think the question mark with the 3 the other day was Lindelof. Again, I say he answered the questions. He wasn't bad. He didn't make any mistakes. But there still is question over the personnel when playing a back 3. I prefer the partnerships within the back 2 and the back 4. That's my own point of view. I don't know why I just don't trust a back 3. I think you're vulnerable to pace if your wing backs get further forward, and I think you're vulnerable to the counter attack at points as well. That's especially if Matic move forward.
More vulnerable than when we play with 2 advanced full backs and just 2 defenders.
There's nothing wrong with a back 5 or back 3 if you've got the wing backs for it, and I don't think we have at the minute, which is why I don't like it. Also, if we have to play 3 centre halves at the moment, we're playing most of our. I don't think we've got any other centre halves left over. If that's the case, have we? Jones is out.
Tuanzebe was on the bench, wasn't he?
Tuanzebe, yeah, he's coming close. So basically, with me, I prefer playing a back 4 simply because of the fact that we can play more midfielders, more attackers. But also, when you look at it, when we play the way we play with Matic at the moment, when he drops and Valencia and the left back go, it's almost like a back. It's almost like we've got 2 wing backs and a back 3 anyway. But I just don't like when we play that back 3 and then the fullbacks are gone, whether it's Blind and Young or whoever. We've been fortunate. Ashley Young has been praised, and rightly so, for his performances, but defensively is poor. And against better teams, we'd get found out, I think, in the back 5 is what I'm trying to say. And in terms of what you were talking about the defence, when I said there's more question marks, I don't mean I have a problem with Jones when he's playing, or Bailly when he's playing, or Valencia when he's playing. But there's far too many question marks. At left back, who's our first choice? We don't know yet. At centre half, you can't rely on Smalling. You can't rely on Lindelof yet. And you can't rely on Jones. Just as I'm starting to trust him again, Jose Mourinho is talking about Jones and he's saying, I don't know when he's going to be back. It's like setback again, just as you start to trust him. Not trust issues like Drake. Steve's dropped his phone.
iPad's gone
iPad. It's all gone messed up. Steve's wearing pink today, that's why.
Don't worry about it. Real men wear pink. Right, so, Euro hangover. Do you expect any sort of sluggishness from Moscow? Because personally, I think that this is a long trip, and I think people expecting United to go and replicate what City did might be a little bit giddy. I fully expect us to win at weekend, but I definitely think that there is going to be some hangover, particularly because I think that some of our better players played all 90 minutes. There was very little rotation, really, in the grand scheme of things, especially with some of the injuries that we've got in a squad. I don't think that there's that many obvious players to come back in that have been completely fresh. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, there is when did they get back? 4 o'clock this morning, or I think I saw.
So today's going to be a recovery session. Tomorrow's going to be a quick tactic session and into the game.
Hard session.
Yeah, it's going to be. Do you know what I thought against Everton after the midweek fixture? When it came to the second half, we looked slightly sluggish. So that I think we're always a team that can start a game fast, but then can end the game fast as well in terms of the options we've got coming off the bench with Lingard and again we don't know about Martial, but Martial and Rashford, that whole trio, you're always going to end up with 2 of them on the sideline. So it'd be quite interesting to see what we go with in terms of starting. Would he actually start with Lingard? Maybe give Mkhitaryan a rest, or he left Mata out. So is there the opportunity there to bring Mata in? I think we've got a big enough squad, and we've got enough options for there not to be, so to speak, a sluggish side put out on Saturday. But then again, I also don't think the fixtures have been nice to us. You know, we're in Moscow tonight. We're playing Saturday, and you got teams yesterday who are going to be playing on Sunday.
Ben, what are you on about? Wednesday, Saturday's fine. What?
Yeah, it could have been Thursday, Sunday, man.
Yeah, but it's not
complaining
fine.
about Wednesdays.
It's
We're not in the
fine.
Europa League anymore.
It's not
let's
fine.
forget about it. It is fine.
It's not fine when you've got clubs on Tuesday
Stop
who are
listening to
playing
Mourinho.
Sunday.
Yeah, but they played on Saturday and then Tuesday. It's all relative, mate.
But when did we play?
We played on Saturday.
Ben's been brainwashed by
We played
Jose.
Saturday as well. Because we've been playing Wednesday, Saturday. They've had games Saturday, Tuesday. They get more recovery
No, they
time.
don't.
We don't, and especially
No, they
coming
don't.
back.
Season starts
They
in
would have had
August,
yesterday,
season ends in
today,
May.
tomorrow.
We're
Saturday.
playing Palace.
There's as many games as you need to play between September, August, and May, right?
I
This
still feel like
recovery
the fixture
time
this
is
could have been a bit
nonsense. It's
behind.
an absolute non-event, mate. There's no.
Do you not think if we're sat here and playing on Sunday, we'll be talking about how we have got enough recovery
No.
time ahead of the game?
No.
But then if we had a
Day.
midweek game next week, for example, I know it's an international
Exactly.
break, and then we would have had 2-day break before that.
It's all relative, mate. There's X number of games between August and May, right?
Listen.
There's a lot of games to
Listen.
play. Do not worry about an extra 24 hours here and there.
So you don't think that one day makes any difference whatsoever?
It
Do we
does,
play-
but not, look, when we're playing Crystal Palace, and it doesn't matter. You can't
Again,
complain
but
about.
the side's relative. The side is relative. We can't say now that we're not asked about playing Wednesday, Saturday. But say, for instance, we had Chelsea at the weekend and it's a 12:30 kickoff, and we've played Wednesday.
Yeah, I wouldn't
and they
complain
played Tuesday,
because that's
and
the
that
way
we're
it is.
not asked.
Because that is the way it is. Whether you play at 12 o'clock or R5, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you still got a game on that day.
We see how that argument develops as the
We
season
don't
goes
like
on.
forcing past the Downey, mate.
It makes no difference whatsoever what time you kick off. You've got a game this weekend, right? All right, it could be a better scenario in terms of that we don't have as far to travel, but that's European football, and that's what you have to get used to, and you can't complain about it because this is where we want to be. Whether you draw a team from the Isle of Man or something like that, or Scotland, or whether you draw a team from the other end of the world in Russia, that's the way it crumbles. You have to deal with it. I've seen a load of people complaining about, oh, they got to play on Tuesday and we played on... What do you want? Do you want a cookie and a cuddle? What's the matter with you? Right? You still got to play.
I don't think it's a complaint. You say you could call it a complaint, but I see it more as that the fixtures could have been kinder to you.
How?
When they're organising these games.
If we'd have played in Russia on Tuesday after
if we had
playing
played Sunday,
on
we would have had a
Saturday.
whole other day recuperation, and today wouldn't matter. Arriving back at 4 o'clock this morning wouldn't have mattered because they could have had today off, then we still would have had another 3 days to get ready for the game.
You would have had less time to prepare to go to Russia. So you'd have got home from Southampton, and then you would have had less time to prepare for that game.
Well, no, because we still play on Saturday. We're still playing on Saturday. Still playing Wednesday.
Stephen.
No,
Play
you'd
Sunday.
have had less time to prepare for the Tuesday. Simple.
Ben, shut up. Stephen, shut up. I'll settle this. We're not playing Thursdays. We're playing Tuesdays and Wednesdays because we're in the Champions League. Get over it. 2 out of 3 times we've won the Champions League. We've also won the Premier League. So there's no excuses.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if there's no excuses, then there's no excuses to be sluggish, is there?
No, there still is going to be a reason to be sluggish because it's a number of games. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be this massive talking point when we're talking about whether or not the fixtures can be kind to us or not. We get messed around with the TV fixtures all the time. We just have to put up with that.
We can't talk about being sluggish if we're going to say that we're happy with the amount of recovery time we've got.
Well,
you
can't. You
can't.
have to
You
deal
can't
with
chat
it.
about being sluggish because why can't you be sluggish?
Look, if you have a midweek game, it's going to affect your weekend game because obviously fatigue. But I think complaining over the difference of a 24 hours
it's nonsense.
It isn't good enough for me as a professional footballer. I don't care if you got 3 games in a week, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. You should still be able to play. I think Thursdays and Sundays and Thursdays and Sundays. I think we can make a complaint about that because it doesn't make sense, and it messes your whole week up and everything. But I think playing midweek football, I think we have Premier League games on Wednesdays sometimes and then Saturdays. Like, it happens. And like I said, 2 out of the 3 times we have won the European Cup, we've also won the league.
Right, let's enough of this anyway. We've gone on far too long about this one. Right, so we got some comments from you guys that we're going to read out. Vardan says, Rashford equals Marshall. What are you suggesting?
Rashford is dead.
McLaren says...
Did you just say Rashford is dead?
Red.
Oh, I was like, what?
McLaren says, our last title-winning season had the likes of Anderson and Cleverley. It did, and playing pretty well in that season as well. I think on the overall, this team beats that team, I think, for me. I think you have to go back a little bit longer to a really good Sir Alex Ferguson team. Quite a few years. He was quite fortunate with that team. Ayush says, better than the 12-13 team all day long. Saberwolf says, defence in this team is better than the 2011 team. I remember we conceded in every match but outscored the opposition. The 2011 team, off the top of my head, I think that was
2010, that was Berber's year, isn't it?
I thought the 11 team was pretty decent. By the time we won the title the last time...
the one where we lost it on goal difference.
That was 12. By the time that we got 12. To the 13 season, Rio wasn't the Rio Ferdinand, remember. Vidic was starting to age. Evra was starting to get caught out. We won the title, but this wasn't the 2008 team, like nowhere near. United for life. United life forever, says Adam. The defence not really the problem. United just got so many options. If a player had a bad game, all United fans lose their hair.
No, what am I about? There's question marks in every. We have Bailly and Valencia that's settled.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing is. Then we had. Who did we have then? I don't even know.
DMG 118 says, 118 is Statman Dave still with FTD? Well, he was on a video on Tuesday. So as far as I'm aware, we've not sold him to Arsenal Fan TV just yet. But yeah, I mean, what sort of question is that, mate?
And they get desperate.
Come on, son. He occasionally gets loaned out to MUTV when we feel like it, but no, apart from that, he's still with us. Right, the next thing, we're going to go to a 30-second ad break right now. There we go. A little bit of an ad break for everybody. Starting at 11 times. So, McKola, you are top of the league with 34. John Sheen's on 29. Ben, you're on 28. And then everybody else falls in behind all the way down to Scott and Sadiksha with 9 apiece, but that's from one game. So, let's go through starting 11s. Adam, give us yours first.
And I text it to Chris, so let me just bring it up. I've gone with Dave the Save, the best goalkeeper in the whole wide world. Valencia, Lindelof, Bailly, and Blind. Obviously, question marks over Jones. And I think, given that Benteke's is out, we could see Lindelof given his first Premier League start. I think it might be a good time to give him a start. Did I mention Blind at left back? I said that. Then I've got Matic, Herrera. So I'm playing a 4-2-3-1. Lingard, Mata, Rashford, and Lukaku. Now, this is why I don't think there's an excuse for fatigue. There's no excuse for fatigue because of the fact that Valencia didn't play. So if he comes back in, happy days. Matic and Herrera obviously played. But around Lukaku, you bring in Lingard, Mata, Rashford. You're freshening it all up. So there's no excuse for then people saying, fatigue. Because Mickey shouldn't play. You know, in this team, Mickey and Marshall aren't playing. So I think we've got enough to be able to freshen it up, providing those injured players aren't out for too long.
He's definitely going to drop somebody out of that forward four. Do you think it could be Lukaku?
No.
Not reckon at all. No thought about it whatsoever. Ben, what's your starting 11?
No, especially not because it looks like Martial hobbled off. And he called for the substitution as well. So he felt something. I hope it was just game management from him. He could feel a bit of cramp, then slowly wanted to go off. Look, I don't want to go through it at the back, but I have done just for the pure reason of how composed and in control we looked. And also, I don't think we've got... I don't think Jones is looking likely to be back. So I don't know what other options we've got. If Mourinho doesn't trust someone to partner Bay, he's going to add more men there. So I just think he's going to end up defending it out, and we're going to be looking to really control this game as a whole. So I've gone De Gea, Valencia, Bay, Smalling, Lindelof, Young. I don't think there's a reason to drop Ashley Young at the moment. I think he's doing all right. So I've kept him in the side. I've gone Herrera, Matic, Mkhitaryan, then Lukaku, Rashford. I've only left Martial out because of him hobbling off. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it would be Martial in for Rashford. I just think he was different gravy against CSK. So yeah, that's what I've gone for. Yeah, more or less the same as what we lined up with. But then there's the option for Mata in for Mickey, I think.
I like the idea of going with 2 up front. I also like the idea, which none of you went for, of basically going with Matic as a single holding midfielder, just to prevent anything getting near that back line. I would go with 4 at the back in this instance. And almost playing the most attacking fullbacks that we've got. The threat that we're going to have from Crystal Palace is absolutely minimal. The biggest problem we're going to have in this game is going to be us failing to score, which seems crazy on the face of things. But Roy Hodgson's had all week to work on some sort of defensive system. And I think that he's looked at this and gone, the best thing we can hope for is 0-0. The best thing that we can hope for. So they're going to come and try and get a 0-0 win. That's what they're going to try and do. So they're going to try and put everybody behind the ball and just try and oof it, counter-attack style. So the problem that United are going to have is finding space in and around there. So I would just push loads of attacking players on. Mata, Mickey, Rashford, Marshall, Lukaku, go for it. Back 4, Matic, everyone else go for it. That's what I would go for. Because the threat from Crystal Palace is minimal, innit? So, speaking about Crystal Palace, Ben, give me something about the opposition that you know.
They've started really well. No, they've been awful so far this season, haven't they? The change of manager as well. What's Hodgson going to bring them? I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, they haven't really got the players. Timbo can't play, can he?
Nope.
He's on loan, so that's a man down straight away. I don't know if Sacco is fit again.
Benteke's out.
Benteke's out as well. Yeah, I read that.
And they're shit.
They're just not looking good. They're my favourites to go down at the moment if this carries on. Zaha's injured. They've just got nothing. You're right. They're going forward. I just don't think they've got anything there. I don't know where it's going to be us failing to score to bring the points home on this one, and I can't see us failing to score with the way we're playing at the moment.
Adam?
I can see why you're kind of like a little bit hesitant to go all out and say we're going to win like 3-4-0 at the weekend, but you're saying Roy Hodgson's had all week to prepare a plan for Man United. He had all summer to prepare a plan for Iceland with England, and he didn't do fuck all. Roy Hodgson isn't great. He's finished as a football manager. And if we don't beat this team comfortably, I'd be disappointed, to be honest. They're shit. And they got no Benteke and no Timothy Fosu-Mensah, so that's their best 2 players gone.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Do you know what? You said don't go 4-0, but I think I'm going to go 4-0.
What's Steve going with?
I've said 2-0 all week.
I'm going 4-0.
Yeah, I'll go 4-0 as well.
What's happening?
My audio's live on my computer. I'm getting an echo. Sorry.
We're nearly finished now anyway, so...
You guys can
Turned
hear
into a
that.
diva since you've put on that pink shirt.
I can't speak because it's going round in my head. There we go. It's gone. Thank you. Right. So, yeah, I'm going for 2-0. I've been thinking 2-0 all week, to be honest. I don't think we're going to see the same number of goals. I definitely think that they're going to be sitting really deep, trying to constrict the space, not wanting to play football with us at all. And I think that's going to be where we're not going to struggle, but it's going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. I hope the crowd doesn't get on their back. I hope that the team doesn't feel frustrated and panicked into thinking that everybody else has slapped these. We need to slap these as well. So I think that we have to be a little bit patient. We're going to get the 3 points. I think it's going to be comfortable, but I think it's going to take a while to break them down. An early goal will be key. If we do get an early goal, like first 5 or 10 minutes, we could go on an absolute rampage because their heads are going to fall down. They haven't got the best defender in Timbo. They're even talking about bringing Carlton Cole, who's just been released from an Indonesian team. Like, honestly, how is this a viable option? This has actually really annoyed me because you think Premier League teams, especially like smaller clubs, with all due respect, smaller clubs like Crystal Palace, whose fans actually bother about watching England, they're the sort of ones that get on United's case. When United bring through tons of youngsters all the time, where's their academy system? Where is their care for what's going to happen in this country? Why are you bringing back the likes of Carlton Cole, who's gassed?
Why are they bringing back the likes of Roy Hodgson?
Yeah, and Roy Hodgson. Where's their academy players? They're supposed to have a good academy, Crystal Palace. Prove it. Bring someone in. Give them a chance. They're saying they've got no fit strikers. That's what your academy exists to do. It's an absolute disgrace how many clubs in the Premier League just think that it's all right to just go and throw the checkbook around. Go to your academy and find somebody. Right, we've got everyone's score predictions. You guys are going for 4-0. I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, someone in the comments on one of the videos last night was like, Why can't United score more than 4 goals? Every time we go up early in the first half, I think we're going to score 4, 5, 6 goals, and we only ever score 4. Mate, give your head a shake. This was 2 years ago. We were talking about how many 0-0s that we had, how we failed to score at home in the first half. What is wrong with you? 4 goals is happy days, mate. Don't worry about it. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to get your questions, comments, queries, and anything else in the description below. Go give these guys a follow on Twitter and on YouTube. And that's it for us.
Like the video as well.
Yeah. We'll be right back for the fan cams on Saturday, and you can also check out last night's fan cam for the CSKA game. We'll see you in a bit.